And good evening. Tonight, another round of severe weather bearing down on the South and Mid-Atlantic. 38 million Americans now at risk as residents across the South are recovering from a string of tornadoes. This is new video here tonight showing a twister in Florida. Look how fast it's moving, tearing right past a school. Thankfully, no one was hurt in this case. In Georgia, a possible tornado ripping across a highway yesterday, coming just feet from the hood of this car. At least one twister confirmed in that state. And this morning, another powerful tornado hitting central Kentucky. This is the aftermath here. Homes reduced to piles of debris. At least one person has been killed there, several others injured. And the drone images capturing the devastation. As we're learning, this twister caught residents completely off guard. No outdoor alarms for miles. It left those in the path with virtually no warning. Right now, the South and the Mid-Atlantic, you see it here, are bracing again with parts of Virginia, West Virginia, and North Carolina all under tornado watches right now. It comes as Canada, we've been telling you about this, facing down blazing wildfires, producing this wall of smoke in the skies over Manitoba. That smoke fanning out over the Midwest in these satellite images. Air quality alerts are now in effect for roughly 22 million in the region. Bill Cairns is standing by for us tonight to tell us when this dangerous cloud may pass. But we want to begin tonight with NBC's Kathy Park on the ground in Kentucky after that deadly surprise tornado.
Tonight, an unexpected disaster in rural Kentucky. A devastating tornado ripping through Washington County. Phone alerts coming with just minutes to spare.
I think this is probably about the worst I've seen.
Where homes stood just yesterday, now empty lots. Emergency crews already at work on the downed trees and leveled houses.
Just so grateful that we have the type of community that we take care of one another.
The Washington County Sheriff's Office confirming one person is dead and multiple injured. Jack Coleman says a twister killed his friend and his girlfriend is recovering at the hospital.
There was no chance. If you look at his house now, it's just shambles. There's just no chance they could have made it.
The sudden storm catching locals off guard with no outdoor sirens installed for miles.
It did come out of nowhere. We're not expecting it, was surprised.
The region already reeling after a powerful EF4 tornado ripped through 3 counties in southern Kentucky 2 weeks ago, killing 19. This latest disaster bringing the total to 45 confirmed tornadoes this year alone in the state. In nearby Tennessee this morning, a confirmed tornado scattering debris for miles just south of Knoxville. All on the heels of a tornado yesterday afternoon, wreaking havoc in the town of Locust Grove, Georgia.
Tornado hit my apartment complex, y'all.
This home flattened, injuring residents with no advance warning for those in its path.
I just ran for the closet and covered my head and started praying, and I could hear things hitting the house.
Actor Trey Chaney breaking down in tears as he posted this update to Instagram.
I survived the tornado. My son, he survived.
Saying his 18-year-old son, Malachi, was thrown 300 feet by the wind and is now in the ICU.
And I'm sure that community is praying for him that he recover. Kathy Park joins us tonight from Washington County, Kentucky. Kathy, I have to go back to this, right? The tornado caught people completely off guard. What else are you hearing about that?
Yeah, Tom, you know, this was just an extremely rare event. And originally, this community was bracing for strong thunderstorms. The threat for tornadoes was extremely low. But what happened here, the tornado actually formed on top of this community. And Tom, we should point out, we are in peak tornado season right now. And unfortunately, sometimes with thunderstorms, these types of tornadoes do form. They're brief, they're random. And as you can see, in this community, it was destructive and even deadly. Tom?
Okay, Kathy Park for us. As we've been reporting up north near the Canadian border, hazardous wildfire smoke pouring into parts of the Midwest as massive wildfires burn out of control in western and central Canada. That smoke from over 170 wildfires burning, threatening the middle of the country with dangerous, unhealthy air quality. NBC's Adrian Broderick is in Duluth, Minnesota tonight. So, Adrian, first, just talk to me about the air quality there. Can you notice it? Do you smell it? Do you feel it?
Oh, Tom, you certainly smell it, especially depending on how the wind blows. Parts of, at least where we are, it smells like a campfire. And if you just look over my shoulder, you can see that thick haze. It's not only here in Duluth, but in parts of the Midwest as that smoke just blows in from those Canadian wildfires, those massive fires. 22 million, as you mentioned, are under some sort of air quality alert. That's from Minnesota to Michigan. We're also talking about the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and parts of Illinois. We have been here throughout the day. We've seen some people taking steps to minimize any harm. We were with a physician earlier today, and he says he remembers those wildfires from 2023. Many of you remember when that Canadian smoke blew in, but it led to weeks of toxic air, not only here in the Midwest, but also along the East Coast. He says they're used to seeing people come in during wildfire season with respiratory issues, but not this early. We haven't even hit June yet. And he says it's possible we could see a long road ahead this summer, Tom.
Yeah, I know. I remember those two years ago, that summer. It was the air was so toxic. All right, Adrian, we thank you for being there, you and your team being in that zone right now. I do want to bring in NBC News meteorologist Bill Cairns with the extreme conditions across the country. Bill was just talking to me in the middle of Adrian's report. He walked up to me to tell me that there was a tornado warning now in effect in the D.C. area. So let's start there, Bill.
Yeah, we have 4 active tornado warnings in and around between D.C. and the Richmond area. So this is a line of storms that was in Kentucky this morning that produced that tornado. Now it's made its way all the way to the East Coast. Let's go in here a little closer to the Washington, D.C. area. So here's Washington, D.C. This is the Beltway. I have my eyes on this storm just to the north of here. This one has a clear hook echo, looks like a supercell. This is in between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. If you're familiar with like the Silver Springs area, this is just to the north here. This will be crossing Interstate 95. Very close to the peak of rush hour here in the next half hour. So that looks ominous. We'll wait and see if it does produce a tornado or not. To the south of here, so we got D.C., we got Alexandria. We have a tornado-warned storm just south of the Beltway. This one will be coming up here towards Melwood and on the east side of 495. So we'll keep an eye on that, Tom, as we go throughout the next couple hours. The worst of it in the southeast will be over the next hour or two. By the time we get to the weekend, the chances of severe weather like this are much lower. We just have to get through tonight.
Yeah, we'll stay on top of this throughout the broadcast. While I have you, let's go back to what Adrian was talking about there, that air quality in the Midwest. Talk to us about what you're seeing there and what people should be doing.
Yeah, so these fires have been, huge in Canada for about the last couple of days, but the air was blowing up towards, up northern Canada. Now the air has switched. All of it for the next 2 days, all of that smoke is heading south, and that's why we have these air quality alerts. Today we were kind of fortunate. A lot of the smoke was above the surface, so it would filter the sun out. You'd see it, but you weren't really breathing it in. And the air quality, we're in the unhealthy for sensitive groups for a couple areas, but it's not horrible. It's not like what we've seen in other years. But we do think that over the weekend, with all of these fires burning, that we're going to continue to watch the smoke actually intensifying, especially in areas like Minneapolis. We're going to look through our friends in Wisconsin, too. Those will be some of the worst spots, Tom.
Okay, Bill Cairns, we'll stay with you throughout the broadcast in case anything happens with those tornado warnings in D.C. We do want to turn to the other breaking news we're following tonight, also in D.C. Elon Musk saying his farewell to the Trump administration during a press event with the president in the Oval Office. But Musk is also facing new accusations of excessive drug use. Here's NBC senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez with the latest.
Tonight, Elon Musk is saying goodbye to Washington, at least for now.
It's my friend, and he's done a fantastic job.
President Trump heaping praise on the tech titan, presenting him with a golden key for leading the Department of Government Efficiency. Musk's turbulent time at Doge falling short of his own cost-cutting predictions as he leaves his 130-day appointment.
Well, I expect to continue to provide advice whenever the president would like advice. I'm confident that over time we'll see $1 trillion of savings.
But the billionaire is facing a new controversy.
Vote, vote, vote.
While Musk was a fixture on the campaign trail last year, the New York Times citing people familiar with activities who allege he was using drugs, including ketamine, ecstasy, and psychedelic mushrooms, far more intensely than previously known. Musk has previously said he was prescribed ketamine for depression. NBC News has not confirmed any of the accusations in the report. Today, Musk did not directly respond.
There is a New York Times report today that accuses you of blurring the line between...
Is the New York Times, is that the same publication that got a Pulitzer Prize for false reporting on the Russiagate?
The Pulitzer board saying the Times reporting was not discredited. Late today, the president visiting a steel plant outside Pittsburgh and announcing a deal to allow a Japanese company to merge with U.S. Steel with an American CEO after candidate Trump had opposed it.
If you don't have steel, you don't have a country.
So when it comes to the steel tariffs, you support what the president's doing?
Absolutely.
Local officials optimistic the merger and other Trump policies will bring more jobs.
They've been wondering, are they going to have a job? Are they, going to be able to save their house? The kids go to college, and I was just overwhelmed with happiness.
All right, Gabe Gutierrez joins us tonight from West Midland, PA. And Gabe, I know you're at the president's rally there with steel workers in Pennsylvania. There's been a big announcement by the White House. Walk our viewers through what happened tonight when it comes to tariffs and steel imports.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Look, the event just wrapped up a short time ago, but the president made a surprise announcement. He doubled steel tariffs on imports coming into the U.S. From 25% to 50%. And meanwhile, trade talks with China are now in limbo. Earlier today, the president said that China had violated its agreement to roll back its steep tariffs for 90 days, although, Tom, he did not specify how.
Okay. Gabe Gutierrez with that big development out there. Gabe, we thank you for that. The president also getting a major victory today from the Supreme Court, clearing the way for him to deport some 500,000 people, many of whom were allowed to come into the country due to a Biden-era law. It comes as his administration has ramped up deportation rates, especially in Florida. NBC's Marissa Parra is there tonight.
Tonight, President Trump's immigration crackdown ramping up with sweeping raids across the state of Florida. Just as the Supreme Court gives the president a major victory today, revoking the legal status for migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. That means that even as the original ruling is appealed, the Trump administration can deport more than 500,000 people currently in the U.S. from those four countries, even though many arrived legally under a Biden-era program.
It's very important that we're able to get those people out of here fast, bring them back to their country where they belong.
That speed picking up in recent days here in the Sunshine State.
Construction workers were working on this building behind me when law enforcement came from all directions, descending on them, rounding them up in the hundreds.
This construction site in Tallahassee, now the site of one of the largest immigration raids in state history. Workers seen on video Thursday pouring out of the building near FSU campus where they were constructing student housing, still wearing their construction vests, their hands tied.
Seems like yesterday, in some ways, was kind of unprecedented here.
For sure. It's one of the biggest raids we've ever seen, and it involved several state agencies plus ICE. We are hearing that about 200 people showed up for work. More than 100 of them were detained.
Tallahassee immigration attorney Elizabeth Ritchie says she's getting calls by the dozens.
I'm concerned about due process violations. We've been seeing those, unfortunately, more and more recently. I want to make sure that everyone's rights are protected.
And now detainments are being reported at courthouses as migrants show up to their immigration hearings. This video from Thursday showing a family with 4 children detained outside of this San Antonio immigration courthouse. With workplace raids also on the rise, like the Tallahassee one Governor DeSantis touts as a major bus success. The recent raids across the country are also raising outcry.
This is Gestapo-like behavior, where plainclothes officers wearing masks are terrorizing immigrants who are doing the right thing by going to court, following up on their immigration proceedings, and trying to come into this country lawfully.
President Trump's administration pushed ICE with a quota of 1,800 arrests per day in the days after his inauguration. According to data obtained by NBC News, ICE deported over 17,000 people last month. That's up more than 50% from deportations in February. But border czar Tom Llamas says it's not enough.
But I'm not satisfied. I haven't been satisfied all year long because what I just said, we got 600,000 criminals walking the streets of this country we need to get. So, yeah, we increase the number of teams. We're going to have over 1,000 teams on the street. We're putting more targeting in this. We got to increase these arrests and removals.
All right, Marissa, let's pick it up right there. I know you're at a rally for immigration rights hosted by activists there behind you. We just heard Tom Llamas there. I want to pick up right there. Should we expect more raids in the days ahead?
Well, Tom, I can tell you right now that what we saw in Tallahassee is probably most likely a sign of what's to come, what's to be ramped up in the coming days and weeks. So behind me, you might be able to hear the noise. This is from an immigration rights group, and all of the allies that have come out. They're wearing a lot of signs that say that they are in support of local immigrants, asking ICE to get out of this local area. But what was so striking about what we saw in Tallahassee, because raids are not new, these types of protests and rallies are not new, Tom, but what is new is this partnership between state and federal agencies, as well as the sheer scale of this. We really have not seen something like this in Florida, at least at this scale, at a workplace raid before. So this is what we're talking about when we say, in order to meet that quota, we might be saying more of exactly that, Tom.
Okay, Marissa Parra there in Tallahassee. Marissa, we thank you. We want to turn to a story out of the FAA about the FAA tonight, investigating a close call between two commercial jets on San Francisco's runway. We also have new reporting about a potential disaster on board a Southwest Airlines flight. The company praising the quick action of its flight crew after a battery charger nearly caught fire midair. Tom Costello covered it all for us and the videos. Hey, Tom.
Yeah, Tom, based on preliminary information, this concerned a United Airlines flight and a SkyWest Airlines flight back on May 13th. The planes were departing from parallel runways at SFO when the United flight turned without authorization into the path of a SkyWest aircraft. The FAA is investigating, and meanwhile, Southwest Airlines crediting its flight crew tonight for quick action after a battery charger began giving off smoke in flight. It happened on Southwest Flight 1844, Baltimore to Tampa. The pilot's diverting to Myrtle Beach due to a reported fire in a seat back.
Hold position. We have an emergency inbound with a reported fire in the cabin.
Cell phone video captured the smoking battery charger.
I've got a fire truck set up on most quadrants waiting for an emergency inbound.
The plane landed safely, no injuries. Just the latest case of an onboard battery fire. In January, an Air Busan flight in South Korea was destroyed by fire after a battery charger caught fire. Everyone got out safely. In the U.S., the FAA reports 22 confirmed incidents so far this year of lithium batteries overheating, smoking, or catching fire. Last year, 89 cases. The FAA prohibits lithium batteries in checked bags that go in the plane's luggage hold where a fire would pose a serious threat. Just last week, Southwest began requiring passengers to keep batteries and power packs in plain sight, not in overhead bins.
There are hundreds of lithium-powered devices on every aircraft. And so people just need to understand the risk associated with those, and in particular, power banks.
Southwest is flagging passengers on their app when they access their boarding passes to keep battery chargers in plain view. And all airlines are reminding passengers no battery should ever go in checked luggage. Tom?
It is a good reminder. Okay, Tom, thank you. Now to Sean Diddy Combs' criminal trial. Lawyers for Combs cross-examining a former personal assistant who testified the music mogul repeatedly threatened and sexually assaulted her. NBC's Chloe Malas has the latest from court.
A day after a former personal assistant to Sean Diddy Combs described through tears how he repeatedly sexually assaulted her, today the woman testifying under the pseudonym Mia was back on the stand. Combs' defense attorney Brian Steele grilling Mia and showing the jury more than a dozen effusive social media posts where she called Combs her mentor and said that she loved him. Steele asking Mia, "You're calling the person who assaulted you your mentor?" Mia responding, "Yes." Mia later testifying, "Instagram was to show how great your life is, even if it wasn't true, and I didn't want my family and friends to know the misery I was in." Steele also asking her about a scrapbook and card she gave to Combs for his 45th birthday. Steele reading the card in court. "I hope it reminds you of when this world made your eyes light up," she wrote. "I love you forever." "That's a loving card," Steele said. Mia replying, "I'm a loving person." "The person who sexually abused you?" Steele asked. Mia responding, "Yes."
The defense's job is to try to attack this witness's credibility.
Earlier in the day, Mia testifying about the conditions during the 8 years she worked for Combs. She said at one point, "He threatened to kill me." But during cross-examination, Steele presented a text Mia sent after she was ultimately let go. "I'm going to kill myself. My life is over," she wrote. "I'm so heartbroken, I can't breathe." Combs has pled not guilty to all charges. President Trump today asked if he would consider pardoning Combs if he's found guilty.
I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
Tom, we're expecting Mia back on the stand on Monday, and then we'll be hearing from a hotel custodian and then a forensic video expert.
We are back now with Top Stories news feed, and we start with New Orleans Pelican star Zion Williamson facing rape accusations in a newly filed civil lawsuit. A woman claiming to be Williamson's ex-girlfriend details several instances of rape, strangulation, and domestic violence. Court documents say the relationship began during the star forward's freshman year at Duke. Williamson's attorneys deny the allegations and accuse the plaintiff of trying to financially exploit their client. And a wild road rage incident caught on camera southeast of Las Vegas. Video showing a man ramming his truck into another vehicle, you see it here, pushing it into a construction site ditch. Then he stomps on the roof and windshield of the other car and reaches through the broken glass towards the woman inside. That man was later arrested and faces 9 charges, including battery with a deadly weapon. The woman who was in the other vehicle is said to be okay. The snack food maker behind Oreos is suing supermarket chain Aldi over packaging which it says blatantly copies its popular products. The company, Mondelez International, says products including Thin Wheats, chocolate sandwich cookies, and golden round crackers are likely to, quote, deceive and confuse customers. Aldi recently paid up in similar copyright infringement lawsuits in Australia and the UK. The company did not respond to a request for comment. And a passing to note tonight, Emmy-winning actress Loretta Swit, who starred in the sitcom MASH, has died. Swit played Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan in the hit TV series. She won 2 Emmys for her portrayal of the head army nurse during the 11 seasons of the iconic show. Her publicist confirming to NBC News that she died of natural causes at her home in New York City. She was 87 years old. Okay, we're turning now to reality TV star Todd Chrisley, because we're hearing from him for the first time tonight after he was pardoned by President Trump and released from prison. Chrisley recounting the moment he learned he would walk free and revealing how he plans to give back to the inmates still inside. NBC's George Solis has this one.
Tonight, reality TV star Todd Chrisley speaking out for the first time since he and his wife Julie were pardoned by President Trump and released from federal prison this week.
I want to thank President Trump. I want to thank the administration.
Chrisley holding a press conference in Nashville, recounting the moment he learned he would be let out.
I had a staff member that came to me and said, "You've just been pardoned." And I just looked at him and he says, "No, really, you've been pardoned. It's in the news." When I left that day, there was only 317 men at our camp, but they were lined up shouting when I was walking out. And they were saying, "Don't leave it, don't forget us, don't forget us."
Chrisley appearing with daughter Savannah, who played a pivotal role in petitioning the Trump administration for the pardon.
People think, oh, you're a celebrity, you're white, you have money, that we got an upper hand, and we didn't. I had to fight, and I was relentless.
Julie Chrisley was not in attendance, the family saying she is home with their youngest daughter. Todd Chrisley today maintaining their innocence.
Do you have any remorse for the actions that led to your evictions?
Oh, you must be CNN. Do I have any remorse? I would have remorse if it was something that I did.
The couple was sentenced to a combined 19 years in prison in 2022 after they were convicted by a jury of their peers for tax evasion and defrauding banks of more than $36 million.
What are y'all doing?
None of your business.
A stunning turn for the stars of Chrisley Knows Best, the reality TV show that chronicled the tight-knit family's lavish lifestyle and antics.
You're not going to die in a cornfield. I have been out for 12 hours and I'm shopping.
Chrisley's daughter, Savannah, posting glimpses into her parents' life after freedom.
I've got Todd over here being dramatic.
Lifetime confirming they have greenlit a new docuseries that will premiere later this year. The family now saying they will use their second chance to help those that have been unjustly persecuted.
Being in the prison system, anyone that says that it's a fair shake, it's not. Because I dealt with young African-American males in the prison that I was in that were not treated the same. God has said, when you know better, you do better. And it's our job at this point to expose all of that and to try to make those men and women's lives better.
All right, and with that, George Solis joins us now. So, George, what more did we learn today about their new reality show?
Yeah, hey, Tom. So the Chrisleys taking the opportunity today in the spotlight to highlight this is apparently one of many shows they may be featured in saying the offers are rolling in, no specific timeline. But they're saying as far as this deal with Lifetime goes, they're actually going to take this opportunity to really, in their words, set the record straight, talking about everything from the trial to the pardon and everything in between. We'll have to wait and see how that all unfolds.
Yeah, and I'm sure people will tune in. Okay, George, we thank you for that. We want to turn now to the trial involving Karen Reed. The defense finally getting their turn today, calling their first witness in her murder retrial. Reed is accused of killing her boyfriend, you may remember, a Boston police officer, by backing into him with her SUV. The question now, will Reed herself take the stand to tell her side of the story? NBC's Aaron McLaughlin has the latest.
Karen Reed exiting court this afternoon appearing confident.
Why do you want to call my...
As her defense team takes center stage in her murder retrial over the 2022 death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Reed is accused of backing into O'Keefe with her Lexus SUV on a cold winter night and then leaving O'Keefe to die alone in the snow.
There was no collision proven to have occurred. There was no eyewitness presented. There was no video evidence, no audio evidence.
Her defense calling their first witness.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, I do.
An engineer who analyzes crash data, who testified that data from Reed's SUV showed no signs of a crash on the night of O'Keefe's death.
What did the data recorder indicate, if anything, related to any impact on January 29th, 2022?
There were no recorded events whatsoever on the ACM.
Contradicting a digital forensic expert called by the prosecution, who testified the data showed a possible collision just seconds after O'Keefe's iPhone was unlocked for the last time.
Based on the initial reports,
yes,
the phone interaction always occurs after the end of the vehicle event.
The defense tasked with countering 40 witnesses and 23 days of testimony brought by the prosecution.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth rests.
And evidence including a shattered cocktail glass near the scene and a broken taillight on Reed's SUV. The forensic witnesses testified contained O'Keefe's DNA. Another hurdle for the defense, videos the prosecution played in court of Reed speaking to various documentary crews and appearing to admit she wondered if she had hit O'Keefe.
So I thought, could I have run him over? Did he come and hit the back of my car and I hit him in the knee and he's drunk and passed out?
Now, with her own words being used against her, Reed hinting she's considering taking the stand herself.
Karen, what can we expect from the defense? Will you testify?
TBD. To try and prove her innocence one last time.
Aaron McLaughlin joins us now in studio. So, Aaron, I know when the jury was sent home for the day, there was some kind of back and forth over a text chain. What exactly happened?
Yeah, the issue surrounding this text chain that allegedly includes text from Michael Proctor, who was the lead investigator on the case. Now, you may remember following the first trial, Proctor was actually fired for alleged misconduct. Now these texts are sort of front and center. The defense wants the text admitted, the prosecution saying not so fast. The judge has yet to issue a ruling.
All right, Aaron McLaughlin. Aaron, thank you. And for more on what we can expect in the coming weeks from the defense, I want to bring in NBC News legal analyst Danny Savala. So, Danny, let's start right there. Walk us through. Did the defense start off on the right foot?
Well, they started off, I think, with exactly the witness I thought they were going to call, which was to bring in a counter to the state's final witness, which was essentially an accident reconstructionist or biomechanic. And they called someone essentially to counter him. And the reason that's good is that if you're the defense, you want the experts to cancel each other out. Maybe the best case scenario is that the jury is just so confused, they go back to the jury room like, I'm not really sure what the heck that was all about. Let's just call it a draw. The battle of the experts ends in a détente. And so that would be good for the defense because it's the prosecution that has the burden to prove their case.
Yeah, I know she was asked this. We saw that in the report here. Will she take the stand? Do you think she will?
I don't normally make predictions because it's always up to the defendant, but this one I feel pretty comfortable at. I would put it at a 1% chance Karen Reed takes the stand. She would not do very well on the stand, and I point to Exhibit A, all the documentaries and the producers that she talked to, all of the things she said, or some of the things she said, are now coming back to haunt her. So if she wasn't so good in the comfortable setting of a reporter or an interviewer, she would not do that well in the crucible of cross-examination that she would face.
Is there a formula for defense attorneys on whether to put their client on the stand or not?
Yeah, you start with, I'm absolutely not putting my client on the stand.
Even if you believe they're innocent.
Well, I wasn't finished with the formula. The formula is, I am not doing it unless and until there's some essential reason that I need to get a piece of evidence out of his mouth or her mouth that I cannot get from anywhere else. Then, and only then, Tom, will I consider calling my client.
Even if you think your client is without a doubt innocent, you still wouldn't put him on just because it's too risky.
Well, first, if the client was obviously without a doubt innocent, you might not be at their criminal trial because the prosecution would pass. There's always some degree of evidence against your client. If they have any issues, anything they can't answer for, it's going to look really bad. And the bottom line is the rules of evidence are skewed against the witness. You cannot get into a battle with the prosecutor. You will lose. And if ever there was a potential witness who has a bit of a temper problem, we've seen through her phone calls that might be Karen.
And you set up the jury letting them know that the client may not testify, not to assume that that's guilt, right? Because you have to let the jurors know, like, why isn't she testifying?
No, they get a specific instruction from the judge. It's not the lawyer that tells them. The judge will tell them in jury instructions, thou shalt not draw a negative inference from the defendant's silence. You cannot do so.
Law 101 with Danny Savalos. We always love that here on Top Story. Danny, we thank you for your time. Finally tonight, for 10 years, he's guided this network and much of the nation through the monumental events of our time. He was there for us through tragedies, through celebrations, through hurricanes and elections, always the calm at the center of the storm, always a beacon of integrity for all of us who worked for him. Tonight was Lester Holt's last night in the anchor chair at Nightly News. 10 years of bringing us not just the story, but the humanity behind it.
As of tonight, this program has a new name, and I'm honored to say a new anchor. We hope to see all of you each and every night. Good evening. There is no better way to show you the scope of our lead story than from the air. Good evening, everyone. We're moving into uncharted territory. Remember, we're in this together, and together may be the only way we find our way out of this. This is one half of America's split-screen shooting tragedy, the scene of the El Paso massacre. And below me are the tokens of tribute, hope, and blessing to the innocent who died simply because they were here. From Puerto Rico, this is an island with a long way to go. Tonight from Normandy, from inside Ukraine, from Israel, near the Gaza border, life here in Iraq. I am a father also. I have two children. You had nowhere to run.
Nowhere to run. Nowhere to run.
So you can't go backwards.
No.
All you can do is go forward. Breaking news tonight. As I have my hand on this window, I can feel it bowing. It's like having a jet engine outside our door right now. We've reached a point we're gonna put a mattress in front of this window. We want to be on the air, but we've got to take care of each other. Know that we're safe. I've been watching this battle to stop the fire from crossing a ridgeline. Breaking news tonight from Paris.
We took position at the end of the theater.
Where did you find the terrorists?
In the last door.
This was the first thing that went to the door.
Exactly.
And it's pretty obvious what happened. Well, Mr. President, thanks for the time.
What it indicates victory looked like.
Russia.
L'invito.
What's it like to look out there and see your brother?
Tremendous sense of pride.
Can the fighters on their own make it to where they need to go? Did you harm your daughter, Nikki?
No, sir, I did not.
Your best day was getting out of prison. What was the lowest day?
Every time I think about that, so.
You're all going through a lot of pain right now.
It's awful.
How do you put one foot in front of the other?
Like, I live my life in agony.
My first time being a big hurricane.
Yeah.
Well, I've been in little ones.
Yeah, but you're in a really safe place.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
And yeah.
Okay.
These are the names that represent the 4 million people who were emancipated.
Holt.
Yes.
I sit there and I look at that and I think of who that name represents.
Yeah.
What they went through.
Yeah.
Could they ever imagine me?
Yeah, that's the thing that's powerful.
Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Republican presidential debate. Live coverage of election night. You know, Tom, you and I cover a lot of difficult things to report sometimes, but this is magical.
My heart beating is fast.
I am so happy you guys got to experience this.
I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah. It's good technique. There's nothing like that. I wanted to welcome you to the first Nightly News Kids edition.
How'd you get to
Sesame Street?
Yay!
Havana's famous moving tourist attractions. Before today's what would a score of your life story sound like?
I hope it has a cello solo in it somewhere.
That's NBC Nightly News for this Friday. I'm Lester Holt for all of us. That's NBC News. Have a good night and so long. Please take care of yourself and each other.
And on a personal note, I've known Lester for more than 20 years. He has always been a friend, a mentor, and was always there when I needed advice throughout my career. Both me and my wife worked for him. He is an amazing journalist and an amazing man. I'm excited for his next chapter on Dateline. It is a true honor to be taking over for him on Nightly News. That new era starts on Monday. You can check us out there or right here because Top Story will keep going strong. On broadcast or on streaming, as always, I'll be there for you. We thank you for watching. I'm Tom Llamas in New York. Stay right there. More news on the way.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.